Hello, my name is Marcus Cake. This video discusses the shift from the information age to the network society. Specifically, it outlines the new processes and outcomes in the next stage of economic development. The Shell Oil Company's forecast of the future defines two alternative scenarios for the global community. Their first scenario, which they call mountains, is the world with status quo power locked in and held tightly by the currently influential. Power and prosperity is centralized, and at the end of the information age, society is stagnating and has been reduced to wealth transfers. We could be trapped in this stage for at least another 16 years. The second scenario, which Shell calls oceans, describes a more prosperous and volatile world. Power is more widely distributed, influence stretches far and wide in the world of oceans, power is devolved, competing interests are accommodated, and compromise is king. Economic productivity surges on a huge wave of reform. The result is a network society that uses a distributed structure and decentralizes prosperity and power. We could implement this future in 2 to 5 years with as few as 30 networks globally, launched within 6 months. Network society could be crowd-created by any one of three groups: people, government, or corporations. All or part of the network society could be run by the people as an open source software project, by the government as a public utility, or by corporations as a profit-making enterprise. Let's look at the shift in outcomes. The information age is exhausted. Further investment in the status quo won't create wealth. We can see this exhaustion in declining or negative productivity worldwide and declining standards of living. The information age is highly complex and is often consumed by process at the expense of outcomes. The information society is on a path to decline. We can see this in debt being used to maintain living standards and greater conflict amongst communities. Evolution has been crowd-creating the next stage of economic development for decades. The community has crowd-created data or connectivity. We call this the Internet. Over the last 15 years, the community's crowd-created information. We call this the World Wide Web. Over the last 7 to 10 years, the community has also created online networks in social communities. In the next 5 years, the community will crowd-create wisdom by simply moving collaboration and knowledge and linking things in the Internet of Everything in the cloud. The result is a distributed and much simpler network society. It offers greater productivity, greater output, higher standards of living, and a return to prosperity and wealth creation. We are witnessing a shift from closed structures and processes available to a few to open structures accessible to everyone that achieve much more with much less. We are witnessing a shift from the closed and proprietary structures and technologies of the information age to their more open counterparts. The information age used hundreds of thousands of different technologies, processes and structures at every level of society. The network society uses a fraction of the technologies, structures and processes and is able to span individuals, organizations, industries, countries and regions with a few over-the-top wisdom networks. A wisdom network brings virtual wisdom to every physical or real thing in the real world. This means that each thing in the real world does not need to be intelligent in themselves. The network provides the intelligence. This means that a handful of wisdom networks can organize a network society within the Internet of Everything. If you'd like further information, please visit the wisdomnetworks.im website or contact me, Marcus Cake. My contact details are on the top right-hand side of this slide.